Yes, we are back again in Train Sim World 5, this time for the penultimate time. Yes, the next one after this will be the last time we will ever do anything in Train Sim World 5. Despite the fact that I said last time that was penultimate one, this is the penultimate one. This one. The one before last in Train Sim World 5. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to be really confused because this is going out on a Thursday. Yeah, I know. But that's the day it's going out. Before, yes, Thursday. Yeah, this is definitely going out on a Thursday. There'll be links in the doobly-doo below to where you can get Train Sim World 5, should you wish still, despite the fact next week Train Sim World 6 will be out for those watching on YouTube. There'll be a link down there to the Twitch page where you can watch me live on Twitch doing this and all sorts of things, and a link down there to the Discord server as well. And I thought, well, the last stream we're going to do is going to be New York Trenton, because that links up with one of the new routes that's coming in Train Sim World 6, the Morristown one. So, well, I wanted to put this in somewhere. So, an impromptu Friday night Train Sim World stream, for reasons that I'm sure we'll talk about when we're going. West Coast Mainline South. I've just reinstalled a modern timetable mod for it, which has broken my controller. So no more throttles for me. So back to good old keyboard. So we'll do some trips on the West Coast Mainline South and finish off that bit there. Good evening then to Trenty, to semicolon, to Nigel. Name's Nigel, don't you know? Imagine Nigel sat there wearing a cravat currently and a smoking jacket. To Anthward, to Stokey, Mukbonio, Trent's mum, Logan as well. So yes, let's get straight in then with some West Coast Mainline South. I'm going to be really sad to see the end of Train Sim World 5, but there are good things to come in Train Sim World 6. I've now got to find... No, I've gone past it, haven't I? Because rather oddly, they're sort of in alphabetical order, but they're not. There we go. The butler sent the cravat to the cleaning people, I say. Well, one of these is a modern timetable. One of them isn't. So we'll go with that one. I know he'd done some bits and pieces in this before. We've certainly taken the measurement train before. I think we'll start out with just doing a Milton Keynes run. So 377 maybe? Is that going to allow me to go? No, it's not. 350. Let's go with the Eurovision one because it's Eurovision. We'll go from London to... is that all the routes we can do? Okay. Tring to London, Milton Keynes, between Milton Keynes and London. It's only going the other way. What? Tring and London. Okay, in that case, we'll do Milton Keynes to... We won't go. We'll go into London and then we'll come back out again. Why are they only going in one direction? That makes no sense. But anyway, Nigel is so middle class. He outsourced cleaning. Oh, I should imagine Nigel's got a woman that comes round. Probably a Maureen or something. Comes around on a Wednesday morning to give his bits a good dust. Right. That's track IR. We don't want any of that. Thank you. Let's turn the volumes up. Of course, my controllers aren't really working. Oh, God, I've got to find where the key goes. In there. So, reverser. That's not going to work either, is it? Oh. Okay, into forwards. We'll open the windows. Have you got a number for this Maureen, please? I'm sure a number can be obtained. Headlights. Day. We'll unlock doors the old-fashioned way. Red light. Where? There's not a red light here, is there? That's a colour scheme. It's not really Eurovision, is it? That's Ukraine and Eurovision. Oh, the honky. You have a look in the Lydon phone box. I'm sure there'd be plenty of phone numbers in there if you're back in 1990, Nige. people giving you all sorts of services, I can imagine, in that phone box. Right, so a single-handed operation. Handily, so installing the timetable mod has broken my controller mod. So we will have no controller. So where are we going? We are going to Bletchley, Leighton Buzzard, Cheddington. Sounds like some sort of kids' TV programme. Tring, Berkhamsted, Hemel Hempstead. Are those two related? Apsley, Kings Langley, Watford Junction, Bushy. I'm not going to say it. I probably will when I get there. Harrow and Wealdstone and London Euston. So a 4-line run down. Usually £1 a minute. How do you know, Colin? Chuggington. Oh, it's close, wasn't it? Right, Bletchley. Are we going to move? Yes, we are. Right, to London. And then we'll talk about things, because, you know I was going to, because me. This could be our thumbnail coming up. Or maybe not. Right, now we can give it the beans. Well, bye then. It's not going to work, is it? It is always great when you're on the faster moving train and you're overtaking the slower moving train. It's like when you travel on a coach and you're going past all the peasants in their cars and the truck drivers and stuff. You're going, ha ha. Right, thumbnail sorted, we can relax now. Yeah, I do like this line. I was going to try and end with this as being my last stream, but I wasn't in the mood to do New York Trenton this evening, so fancy something a bit busy. This was supposed to be Uno, but let's just say I've had a couple of days. I've had a week, actually. So I wasn't feeling very sociable this evening, so I thought, I know, I'll just chill and do some of this. Oh, that's brakes. Well, Tony, if mine was working this evening, I'm contemplating it, Nigel. If I don't go tomorrow, I'm actually toying with going down there because I've got a week off, a week on from next Friday. So next week. I'm extremely tired currently, so I'll see what time I get up. Yeah, Tony, you don't need don't buy the rail driver controller is what I'm trying to say. It's awful. What I use, and I could be able to bring it up on screen, it broke because I installed this mod, but what I normally use is a controller that basically replicates the rail driver controller and allows you to map any button you like to functions within Train Sim. So what I normally use is my flight sim controls, so my my throttles. If I open up the software, if I can open up the software, there we go. So yeah, that's the software. So, which unfortunately isn't recognizing Train Sim World currently. So you install this as a mod if you're on PC, obviously, and then you can map all of the controls, buttons and levers to be anything you like. So at the moment, if I move my throttles, they're showing as being moving there. But the mod I just installed for the timetable for this somehow broke, so I've got to reinstall it again basically. But that works so well. So you don't need to buy the awful rail driver, is what I'm saying. Yeah, there are loads of mods for Train Sim World if you're on PC. We don't talk about Uno. Well, we were going to talk about... We were? I was good English, and it was going to talk about Uno. Right, doors are closing. Right, Leighton Buzzard. It's brilliant software. It really is. I looked at the rail driver when it first came out, but A, I haven't got room for it, and B, it just looked, well, not good. The basic flight throttles that you can get, 90 quid, so not cheap unless you can pick them up on CEX or eBay. 3 levers. I use one for a combined throttle and brake, one for train brake, and you can set up the middle one as reverser if you so wish. It also comes a little connecty thing as well, so you can link two of them together, or you can have the whole thing as throttle and brake. But it works really well. I said I broke it this evening and only realised that about 2 minutes before the stream was going to start. But yeah, I should have to get it configured with Train Sim World 6 next week. Hopefully it works. So yeah, so we'll take this all the way down to Landon. I reckon then an overground run, maybe back to Watford, and then see how long that takes. This line is rather good because of the variety of stuff you've got on it, with the overground, the underground, and the womblings. So we did have a Sims and Stuff livery for this, which looked flipping awesome. Unfortunately, the person that designed it left the community and took it with them. I don't know what use it will be to them, but it's no longer there. Shame, really. Okay, Fortnite is one game I will never go anywhere near because I'm not, 8. Although I said the same about Roblox. Never going to play that. Not doing it. Can't make me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, all right. There's no need to remind me that I said it about Roblox. Look, I don't know if any of you realise this. I'm going to get closer to the microphone. Ready? I spend all of my time on these streams talking utter nonsense. You are not supposed to remember the things that I say. There. That should sum that up. And yes, thank you, Connor, and thank you for your DM yesterday. I did appreciate that. I've been thinking about that, Amy Lou, but to be honest, I don't think I'll ever go back and do that again. Now, I think for reasons, I think my time has gone in that one. What happened to Minecraft? It's on the list. It's a very big list, but it's on the list. Oh, braking. I'm being overtaken again by another 390. I think that's going to happen quite a lot on this journey. I've never done this whole run. I don't think I've been to Milton Keynes by train. Not that it should be anything anyone wants to do. That's a taxi driver for you. It's his license. It's gone dark. It's definitely gone dark. Jacob's Fibre Crackers. What do I have for my tea? Oh, 4 chicken Kievs. I put 2 in the air fryer and then the other 2 fell in there. I don't know how it happened. I opened the air fryer and there was 4 in there. So I thought, well, I've got to eat them now. Survivor games. Surviving this is enough. Four, just as bad as Trent. No one's that bad. No, I've been to Milton Keynes. I've been to the MK Centre. I've been to Milton Keynes a few times, just never by train. And you did Brighton to Eastbourne. Yeah, again, I've ticked off quite a few of the Train Sim World routes in the UK. It is one of those things, although I'm not doing the whole trains thing anymore, it would be nice to do them and compare them. So, you know, the Riviera line that's coming up is certainly on my list because I like it down there anyway. And there are the Scotland ones I haven't done. I've done pretty much everything south now. There ain't many. I'll have to go through the list. I've been to a Trafford Centre. I've never been to a Trafford Centre. You can imagine it's full of all, well, scallies wearing black tracksuits and hoodies. That's a good run down to Portsmouth. I love that line down at Portsmouth anyway. It's something about that last couple of stops to Portsmouth Harbour. It's just really good. I'd love to go back to Scotland, Connor. Right, Cheddington, which does sound like a kids' TV programme. Another 390 going past. So when we get down to Harrow and Wealdstone, or certainly beyond Watford, it should get busier because we'll then see the overgrounds running. Yeah, we avoided the Trafford Centre when we did Manchester the last couple of years. No. Bad enough going to Doncaster in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks today. I should be in Doncaster. Well, no. 2 weeks today would just be coming into Cleethorpes at this sort of time for fish and chips and maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine. And we have to be carried back to the hotel, or I just book a hotel in Cleethorpes and stay there. Yes. I plan, depends on when I can show Train Sim World 6. We haven't learnt yet what the embargo is on Train Sim World 6. If it's the Tuesday, so a week Tuesday, then I'll stream Train Sim World 6 on the Tuesday. If it's the Wednesday, then I'll stream the Riviera line on the Tuesday. If it's the Tuesday, I'll do the Riviera line on the Monday in Train Sim Classic, and then the first route I'm going to do in Train Sim World 6 is going to be the Riviera line. So what I might do is make a couple of streams out of that. So do the Plymouth to Exeter to Plymouth, and then do as a separate stream the Exeter to Paignton. Why am I going so slow? The Because me. Well, it's 5 really, isn't it? So it's Train Sim World 2020. And then Train Sim World 2, 3, 4, 5. Paynton Zoo is great. I like Paynton. As a kid, I had a lot of holidays down there. Or Payton. You up in your way? Scotland. Is there a Payton up there? I'm thinking of Paynton. With a GN in there somewhere. So yes. So I will be bringing you Train Sim World 6 before release. It just depends on how far before release. The good thing is I'm off that week. So if my embargo is, let's say, 10 a.m. on the Wednesday, I will be streaming at 10 a.m. on the Wednesday. And then I'll do an evening stream as well. So the Wednesday, Thursday will be Train Sim World 6, and then we're away for our meetup. And then it'll be the following Monday and Tuesday will be Train Sim World 6. Going through all 3 of the lines, and I'm really looking forward to the announcements and things. Where's Babbacombe? Babbacombe that way, or is that Bournemouth? Is it Babbacombe Model Village? Yeah, the deluxe is definitely worth it for 20 quid more. Yes, the deluxe that I'm getting. Well, yeah, it was when this launched, wasn't it? I did like several streams in a row. I'll be recording content to go out on YouTube. So, you know, YouTube will be full of Train Sim World 6 for a few days. I won't be like some of the other ambassadors that put out a video an hour. No, sometimes 2 on release day I'll put out. I can bring my thing, can't I? So there we go. So if you haven't got Train Sim World 6 yet, launches on the 30th of September. You can get 5-day early access if you get the deluxe version or the special edition. But the standard edition, you get the Riviera line, Leipzig, Dresden, the Morristown line, and there's train faults coming, random events coming, passenger and platform announcements coming, and I still don't know what the quality of life improvements are. Does that mean my life's going to be improved? Hope so. Should look forward to that. Right, doors are locking. Tring is next. Done. Right, go, go, go. So Tring, and then when we get down to Watford, it should get busier. I don't know, Liam. Liam made a comment that Nightbot blocked about me winning the lottery and basically just sodding off. Thing is, even with all the money in the world, you still got something to do, haven't you? As much as, yeah, I'd like to tour America and see the world, it's that same thing as you don't want to do it on your own. So no. I have talked about next year being my last year of doing this, because that's 10 years. And as Trent quite rightly said, I had a feeling actually Trent was trying to get rid of me for a little while beginning of the week. As Trent quite rightly said, 10 years is pretty much the point for most people. It's 10 years and done. And that's what it'll be. I think March next year will be 10 years of putting YouTube content out. He was trying to help. What, get rid of me? Yeah. Is West Coast Mainline South still good? I still think this is the best route that there is for the variety you can do, the variety of routes, the variety of trains. This is the best route. And I don't think, well, obviously I haven't spent time with the Morriston line yet, or the Riviera line. I don't think they're going to be as busy as this. I think once someone does mods for the Riviera line, it could get busier. So the stuff going down into Plymouth, maybe. Once you get 166s running down there, and you get HSTs going up and down. I am looking forward to that slow trundle down into Paignton. And you step off the train, you go past where the steam trains are, and then you walk down the high street, which has changed a little bit of traffic calming, but it still feels like it's in the 1970s. And no, I don't remember it when it was in the 1970s. My folks said that it never changed, that high street. I don't remember the 70s down there, no. I don't. 80s, I'll admit to. Not. I mean, no, I was born in 1999. Right, we're now coming into Tring. One thing I do hope they do, which they haven't committed to yet with the routes, is these station announcements and train announcements. I really hope that they then go through the other routes and we get them retrospectively. I think that would be pretty damn good. Right, you know what we've got to do while we're here, and where are you? Okay, I've just seen one. Doobie doobie doob. Baldy! Quick, go. See, this is busy. I love how busy this route is. Excuse me. I think London commuter, which we did the other week, going down to the place, Clapham Junction. I think that's busy. Certainly as you come out of Victoria, I said out of, it's busy. But then as you get further, like 3 stops down, that gets quieter. Will Tony be joining us today? After the week I've had? We'll see. I'm certainly in a better mood than I was yesterday and Wednesday and Tuesday and Monday. It's been a challenging week. We shall wait to depart. Next is Berkhamsted, then Hemel Hempstead, Apsley, Kings Langley, Watford Junction, Bushy? Nope, we'll see. Harrow and Wealdstone, London Euston. I do fancy, and we never did it in the time I was being dragged around London. I do almost fancy doing a day, almost doing the bit of this you can do on Oyster. So up on the 350, down on the London commute, on the overground, back up on a bit of underground, obviously when they're not on strike. I do need to plan a day in that there land, and yeah, as far as Watford, Yeah, which is the bit you can do on the overground in this. We went somewhere. We jumped on, I'm sure it was a 350 or something. We jumped on a train from Euston and had to go somewhere in search of a battery pack or cable. We went to an Argos. And I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere. There's a few stops up the line. Was it Wembley? I can't remember. I just got on trains and got off trains when I was told to get off trains. But yeah, this is definitely a route to spend time on. And I think you could just spend time going up and down this route in multiple trains and not get bored of it. Certainly as you get south of Watford, which, to be honest, the further away you can get from Watford. I don't think I've ever been to Watford. I can't remember. Fernbus. Yeah. I'm not in a rush to go back to the bus. I think I've pretty much done the bus until that gets another big update. Enjoyable in multiplayer, which it was. But I think we're all waiting for coaches to come out in ETS 2. Well, you have to invite me then, Colin. That's a day out to look forward to, isn't it? Day out in Watford. Where are you going for your Saturday? Oh, Watford? Really? People at work are like, we do your week off. Going to Doncaster. Why are you going to Doncaster? So it's not just Doncaster. I have to explain then, using it as a base to go to York. Yeah, I think we'll get coaches next year. Well, there's some, I'm looking forward to stuff for this. Obviously, there's things that Dovetail haven't announced yet as well. I think they're going to announce after this is released that I'm looking forward to. And then more stuff to come next year. It's so busy. Hopefully that improves in Train Sim World 6, that your whole screen locks up. I will do it. I don't know if I'll do it as a stream. The Tadami line is coming. I don't know if I'll do it as a stream or whether it'll be a standalone YouTube video. But one thing I really want to do is a late night rainy run in a 150 down into Paignton and just have the atmosphere of listening to the platform announcements and the train announcements, and just one of those things where you can always just sit there and listen to a 150 ticking over with this platform announcements going on and a bit of rain. I think lining up the right shot in that's that's it. It's all the ticks from me. Speaking of rain, we have rain. It should be there, Nigel, but greyed out. Hello, Bubbles, darling. Right, 3.4 miles to Hemel. Making our way to Landon. So yeah, it was going to be a multiplayer tabletop sim stream tonight, but haven't had the best of weeks. So just wanted to do something just to chill with this evening rather than having to be social. We will do that. I'll stick it back on the schedule. And good thing actually, because Nico dropped out. So it was only going to be 5 of us anyway, so that might have been a bit of a struggle. Tomorrow night, all being well, we're back with some trucking in ETS2, carrying on from Plymouth, where we got to last time. Going to go up and down the UK, and with an aim to get to London at the end, because that's where we're going to start our capital city adventure. Sunday then we're back on the farm, another penultimate stream on the current farm. We're going to be moving to a new one, and then more of this on Tuesday with my last ever stream in Train Sim World 5.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm going to be doing New York Trenton. M4 TTH 3W Lucky. Thanks for the follow. I know what you're trying to do, but you failed. And yeah, Michael, again, it's never a problem if people aren't in a mood for something. It's just a pain when it's stuff like that where it relies on a lot of people. But yeah. Do I insult every new follower? Yeah. How long have you not been here for a while? I don't insult them. To be honest, right, I'm going to be honest with you, because that's what I am. It's my way of finding out if people that are following, so they've obviously followed because they're either watching stuff on YouTube and have just followed because the stuff on YouTube, which most of that's Twitch streams anyway, or they're watching, lurking, fine, not a problem, and they've clicked follow. If someone's got a name like that, if I point out the fact that that doesn't spell Matthew, it will prove to me and the rest of us if they're one of us. If they jump in and then go, no, the 4 is an A, you dimwit, I can then go, no, it's not, it's a 4. And that proves they're one of us. If they don't like the fact that I've pointed out that the 4 is not an A, then, well, you know, it's always a way of getting people to engage in chat as well. And if I had that situation going on and I'd followed someone and they instantly took the mickey out of my name, that's my in. That's the point where you can jump in and go, right then, streamer. No, and you start a conversation. And before you know it, you're chatting along and you're then part of the group. So it's two things. I never do anything that would hopefully upset anyone and they would take it personally. It's almost done as a way to get them to engage. And, you know, come on. I've hit the ball to you. Come on, hit it back. That's why I do it. And for the fun. That was a train. And when I used to watch people... when I used to watch people, when I used to be in chat rooms and stuff, it's that initial conversation. It's that you want to say something, but you don't know when to leap in. Something like that is you're in. That's like, okay. Right, we are 1.3 miles from Apsley. And you lot were all chatting for the first time at some point. And there's obviously something that kept you coming back. I don't know what it is. But there was obviously something. Don't remind us. it's probably because it's Tony, isn't it? You're only here for Tony. The next station stop's going to be Apsley. If you're getting off at Apsley, then get off. If you're not getting off at Apsley, then we'll stay on the train, you dimwit. My sexy, oldish voice. Don't start. Why? After the week I've had, I think even I need a bit of Tony. Oh, that's slidey. That's slidey braking. No, I forgot that on the way home. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. What's that the theme to? Unlock doors. Right. Brief discussion on my week this week. Depression hit. Normally 24 hours and I'm better. It's been like a roller coaster this week. Yesterday wasn't a good day. I feel better today. Yesterday was a crazy work week. Everything was going on at once. We're having all new laptops at work, and because I'm supposed to be the IT guy, everyone was asking me questions about how to do things in Windows 11, and why isn't my screen working? How do I get the screens the other way around? Why isn't my keyboard working? How can I turn off the screensaver after 3 minutes? So yesterday I was just bombarded and drained. So yes, I don't like cancelling streams. It's less frequent now than it used to be. As a little hobo. Oh, thank you. So yeah, I am generally in a better place. Just this week was just one of those. It wasn't all depression yesterday. A lot of it I was just mentally and physically just worn out yesterday. And was quite glad when, thankfully today, I managed to keep on top of things. And although it was busy, it was all good. I did find myself working at like 8 o'clock last night because something was just on my mind that I needed to do today, and just did it last night. But none of that this weekend. Oh, we had some guys from an actual IT company in, swapping over everyone's machines, copying everything to OneDrive off your current machine, installing that on your new machine, bringing it to your desk, swapping over all the wires and stuff. People that work at home have got VPNs, and they changed the VPN access to get on the server. This morning our server fell over, came in, no server. So no printers are working, no phone system was working. Then the internet went down, so no emails, no internet. So the poor guy that was just there, supposed to be sorting out people's new laptops, was having to go in the server cupboard, go into where the network switches were, and try and configure that. It took 2 hours. No, that was a young lad. He smelled really nice as well. Well, I say young, early 20s. When he came to take everything off my OneDrive, he said, "What's your computer name?" I said, "Susan." He just looked at me. I said, "Oh, sorry, that's my name at the weekends." He put him in a nursing home for a week. Difficult to explain. I've got like a bookcase to the left of my desk to keep paperwork and stuff in. So I got up and leaning on the bookcase. So he was about 2 feet from me, and he had to walk past me to sit down. And God, he smelled nice. And you can't really say to someone, "What's that?" You can't, can you? But they've been really. There's been two of them there all week, and they've been brilliant. Even said that to one of the directors today, because I was help coordinating like where wires were and what we're doing with screens, and if we had spare screens, and ordering people's new docking stations and stuff. And he said they've been really good. You've asked and you've been told. Well, I can't really say, what's that? You smell nice. It's a baldy getting wet. I suppose the good thing advantage of being bald is in the rain you haven't got to worry about your hair getting wet, have you? I had that this morning, peeing down the rain, went to look for my work coat, couldn't find it. Wait, I was left on my chair at work. So I had to dig out a winter coat to go to work in, which means coming home I then had more things to carry because of the rain. I'm just not happy. Then could park outside the house. Next door's having a new boiler fitted. There's a van there. Right, lock doors. Right, Watford Junction. So from this point south, it should then get busier. Well, a hat sim. I am in one of those moods currently, and it happens occasionally. You know, sometimes where you just fancy treating yourself to something. Because of the amount of money I've realised I've saved in the last 3 months by not leaving the house. Which is probably somewhere close to £1,000. I'd fancy treating myself to something. The problem is, and I know this is one of those, you know, don't complain sort of situations, that I don't know what I want. That's the problem. No, my steering wheel's fine. I looked at a review actually of the new iPhones. As much as I like the 17 Pro Max, but again, I was chatting to a guy at work, and he said his phone's 2 years old, like mine, and he's going to wait. Because he said, "What, is your phone fine?" Yeah. He said, "How many years did you have your old phone for?" So I went from an 11 to a 15, so 4 years. And he said, "Was 11 fine?" I said, "Yeah, the only thing I noticed was that it didn't have 5G. He said, "Well, don't change it then. You're changing it for the sake of changing it." He said, "Do you use the camera?" "Not really." He said, "I don't use it as a phone." I said, "Well, why spend 1,200 quid on something that does exactly the same as the thing you've got there currently?" Got a point, really. Also watched, I was going to link it in the Discord place where everyone ignores everything. I have a link. Flicking around trying to find something to watch last night to kill the time, and watched the first episode of an Australian series. Don't ask me where you can get it because I won't be able to tell you. Called, what's it called? It's called Invisible Boys. First episode was actually quite interesting. What's the gist of it? Teenage-ish lad, gay, trying to get away from abusive father and stepdad, mum's boyfriend, And in the first episode, he hooks up with someone on a Grinder type app, goes to their house, things are happening. The guy's wife comes home and then recognizes him. So awkward. And tries to leave the small town that he's in. So at that point I was like, this could be interesting. Yeah, well, let's just say you may need one of those Fire TV stick type things to be able to watch it. Remind me after the stream, Colin, if you would. But yeah, I watched the first episode and was like, okay, yeah, I quite like this. At the end of it, I won't spoil it, but yeah. Right, we've now arrived in the Watfords. So the overground goes from over there. You can see it in the distance. And it's just leaving. So we'll bring the overground back up to Watford once we get into London. I didn't really put into Google gay TV shows. Definitely didn't. So there was a brilliant one with who's the guy? Doogie Howser. Him. I forgot his bloody name. Neil Patrick Harris. Who's he did a series about an older sort of gay scene. And series 1 came out, brilliant. Ended on a cliffhanger, thought really like this. And then it got picked up for season 2 by 2 different networks and has been dropped twice. So I'm like, really? Right, we are 1.1 miles to Bushy. Is it the 1990s again? Is everything bushy? This stream brought to you by manscaping.com. I also started watching last night some YouTube content. Again, that's how bored I was. I was like, oh, it's like 6:30. I'm normally streaming now. What am I going to do with the rest of the evening? Long white socks. They do seem to be back. Yeah, but only if you're wearing them with bloody sliders. Like, no. Started watching a guy who I caught a few videos of probably a year ago and just thought he was annoying. But because he was the person that did the review I watched on the iPhone, I've then started watching some more of his content last night and didn't find him that annoying. Mr. Who's the Boss. Was watching one while I was having my tea before I came up here about minimalist tech. So yes, that was my Thursday night while I wasn't here doing this. I was probably asleep at about 9:45. You're thinking about wearing Crocs in Doncaster. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he is good with his tech videos. I don't like, was it Linus, bloody tech tips guy? He's big-headed. This guy doesn't seem to be. You know he's got money, but from the videos I was watching, doesn't seem to show off the fact that he's got money. I've said that the guy I follow on YouTube that does a lot of travelling, he wears Crocs when he's flying. A, they're comfortable to sit in on a plane, and B, when you've got to take them off to go through scanners, which you don't now at a couple of the terminals at Heathrow, you can just slip them off, go through your scanner, slip back on again. I don't own a pair of Crocs, but I can see the benefits. Right, Harrow and Wealdstone is next. So then now, so the overgrounds came in at Watford. The underground comes in at Harrow and Wealdstone. This is where this line gets brilliant. You have something for camping. What, like Tony type camping? Oh, I love me some Crocs. Whenever I'm cooking in the kitchen, I just wear an apron and my Crocs. They're nice and pink. Oh, they're lovely and fluffy as well. I do like a fluffy Croc. I know you love that, Michael. Speaking of camp. What? Not saying it. Hello, Tiger. It's nice to see you. How are you doing this evening? Right, 3.2 miles from the Harrow and the Wealdstones. Does sound like some sort of like prog rock band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Harrow and the Wealdstones. Or I'm not going to offend people of an Asian orientation, but it could be Hello and the Wealdstones. See, overground over there. So that's what we'll do coming back up. We'll get it overground and then see what time we have. Don't you not me, Harrow? Harrow, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are. And I wonder what you do. Your grandparents lived in Wealdstone before they moved to Swindon. I watched at lunchtime today. I didn't have anything to watch on YouTube, so I ended up watching the beginning bit of Julian Clary's Who Do You Think You Are? My dad used to work with his dad, Peter Clary, and he came to Swindon, to where his parents lived, to drop off his dog. And I was trying to work out whereabouts it was from him, on camera in the car. I think it was quite an old episode. Right, into Harrow. I really like a Chinese chicken curry. I've had one of those for years. Chinese chicken curry, egg fried rice, curry sauce. All the yeses. Could be my Sunday night. So the good thing is the West Coast Mainline is you can come up as far as here on the underground as well if you have the line. And there is an underground over there. So yeah, we've got the underground train there just about to depart. Another one coming in as well. I do like the underground. There is something about jumping on and off the underground in London. Obviously this week you can't. Should I turn my weight mirrors off? Weight mirrors are now off. It is the UK rain train, yeah. Right. Long run now. All the way into Euston. 9.7 miles. So would this actually be the first stop then? So would they go from... I'm guessing they must do. They'd stop at Harrow and then the next stop would be... I suppose it's good if the train stopped there, because that's the point then where you can jump on the underground. So you haven't got to go into Euston and then come out again. You can just jump there, switch to the underground and then sod off around London. So it has got its advantages. Houston, we have a problem. If you have a problem, you'll be telling Steve anytime soon. What are you implying by that? Are you saying just because you got a bit backed up last week and then made the stupid mistake of telling us that we would then tell people? We wouldn't do a thing like that. Not in this caring, loving community. Not us. Wouldn't do it. I wonder if Matthew's unfollowed now. Oops. Hang on. Why was Trent clipping things yesterday? I wasn't streaming. Trent became top clipper yesterday, apparently. So if you want to get a haircut, go to Trent. So overground train over there on the left. I had my live cam on in the bedroom. You won't see much in there anymore. Oh, that's awesome, Michael. I like your dad's humour. That is quite impressive. Oh, I said that to our company secretary this week. We had the new laptops. She had to come and install our accountancy software on my laptop. And then she came down, sat at my desk and went, "Oh, it's tiny." I said, "Yeah, I've heard that before." She just looked at me. I said, "Sorry." Work are starting to see the real me. One guy made a comment. I had a rep come to see me, the one that said I was a nice guy. He brought me a range of safety helmets to look at. And one of the guys in the office then said, "We had a man in the office last week showing you his helmet. Aren't you a lucky boy?" If only. There's some sort of depot up here. Oh, there's Wembley. Wembley! I did a tour of the old Wembley. My brother won a tour? Gifted a tour? Someone gave him a tour. So I got a tour of the old Wembley Stadium. I wasn't interested. You're attracted to old women at work. See, people do say, and I'm not saying this is the case, Michael, that some people are attracted to younger people, some people are attracted to older people, that it's almost either a wanting to be a parent issue or wanting a parent issue. You've been in the service area at Wembley. Cool. Yeah, when I've been to Heathrow and have been like in bits the passengers don't see, like, it's really interesting. And the company I work for, used to deliver into Honda here, and so wandering around those sort of places where, you know, generally people don't go into. It is really interesting going to those sorts of places. That's why I like you, because in the old generation, thank you very much. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. Again, I keep saying it with this community. Age is irrelevant. You know, we had people be part of the community from like 13, 14 years old up until people in their mid-70s. And it never matters. But telling the truth is, 26. No, I have told you, my next birthday will be my actual birthday. And then that'll be my last stream and done. But again, being serious, people's age in the community is it's never, you know, you get certain groups that are, you know, will attract people of a certain age. You know, you'll get the Fortnite communities, and the reason I left the Dovetail, their main Discord, was just because it was full of 12-year-olds. And when's this coming out? Why isn't this free? How much is this? When can I get this? Why isn't that route on there? When are we getting this route? Why isn't this train coming? I'll be getting that train. And I ended up muting every single room, apart from the one that I was in for the ambassadors. And I thought, well, what's the point of me being in this server then? So you get certain groups that are aimed at certain people. This community has never been about age. It's, I would say it's about gaming, but it just isn't. I think there's more chat that goes on in the Discord that isn't gaming related than is. Which is why, you know, my hope of having an entertainment, you know, chat didn't really work. But I think people join in for like, oh, this guy's streaming train sim. I love a bit of that, and then go, hang on a minute. Why is he talking about the route? Why are we talking about food? And why are you taking the mickey out of my name? It's an A. It's not, it's 4. Right, slowlying. I see a red. It took me, what, 6 years of doing this, 5 years of doing this before I finally came out as being gay. Because I was scared that people would see me differently for that. You know, it's only recently that I've been dropping like the odd comment at work. Because it's just like, well, is that going to put people off? Now I've got the attitude, well, this is who I am. And again, like with the taking the mickey out of people's names, this is who I am. This is what the community is. If you like it, stick around. If you don't like it, well, there's plenty of other communities out there that you can go and join. That's a lot of trains over there. UK rain is entering Euston. We have a problem. Ed's got his status in the Discord as just been to church. If we believe that, we'll believe anything. You wait till Doncaster, Tiger. I'm not going to bang on about the meetups and how they're just that way of getting to know people away from the microphone or the stream. you get to find out the real people, and those that have met me will tell you, this is me. This is me. Oh God. Well, that's the one thing that's never happened, Michael. Again, with any, Harry came out because of this community and because he felt safe. Ethan, it was, well, obvious to anybody that ever met him. He can't hide that one. But did it because he felt as though he was in a safe space. And there's never been any abuse towards anybody over anything in this community. We got a number of people in the community that are trans. No one gives a damn. No one cares. Right, so we are now approaching London Euston. Then what we're going to do, I can't remember where the overgrounds go from here. Although, no, I'll go back to the main menu and come back in, because otherwise we won't get the Timmy table. We could do the Capital Star rather than do the normal overground train, although the view's better out normal overground train. Euston's not the best station though, is it? It's very, I don't know when it was modernised, if you call it that. 60s? It looks like pretty much brutalist architecture of the 60s. Right, we have arrived. Very similar to Victoria. Yeah, when do you think we'll finally get King's Cross? And we got that. We got St Pancras because of South Eastern High Speed. That's St Pancras, isn't it? Locking. Done. It all goes quiet. Modernised in the 60s. Yeah, it looked like it with the architecture and the ramps going down. The old shopping centre where I live was pretty much that style as well. Oh yeah, going to be some more on this guy at some point as well. Right, need to do Manchester Airport again. Obviously, just because Train Sim World 6 is coming doesn't mean I'm going to not stop doing Train Sim World 5 routes. I want to do something with Preston to Carlisle. I really must see if someone's done a modern timetable with that, because I like the route, but I don't like the train. So I need to see if someone's done, because obviously we're going to get the first, one of the first DLCs coming out is going to be Birmingham to Crewe, and then we got Crewe to Preston coming. So there will be bits of West Coast Mainline. Right, timetable, that one. So we'll do the Funky Gibbon. Funky Gibbon, we are here to show you how. We'll 26, you know. We'll do London to Watford then on the 7:43. So we go back up the route we just came, but the overground way. Tomorrow, trucking. Someone asked earlier what the theme was. I didn't tell you, did I? Sorry. It's me. You'll get used to that. English songs. British bands. British groups. That's the theme for tomorrow, as we're going to be doing the UK. Right, window open. Window open. Doors on the right. Where are my lights? Cab lights, notice board light, tail light, marker lights. Yep, we're good to go. Swindon band. Since he's working overtime. No Jobo tomorrow, no. I listened to Joe's album in the car all week and really like it, the new album. Although it's short. I listened to it like driving to work, driving back from work, and the following day it started again. I'm like, what? This morning I was trying to concentrate on a spreadsheet and people were talking, so I stuck my headphones in and listened to a couple of tracks off the new Bon Jovi album. I really like the one with Bruce Springsteen. Not because it's Bruce, but the lyrics, it's so good. So I'm going to have to pre-order that. It's out in October. We'd like a bit of that. But yeah, British artists tomorrow. Which there should be plenty. Right. Stop at South Hampstead. So then you have to open the doors. Okay. We are single-handed doodah. Okay. Hang on, have I got to put my shoes down? Do. Because we don't seem to be... Okay, we are third rail. Are we overhead? There's third rail? This must be third rail. This isn't going to run on overhead here, is it? Hang on, I pulled my pants up. No, we're not pants. It should be shoes. Doors are still open. Look. You wouldn't honestly... I looked. It's fine, we're going now. What a dim... Would you expect anything else? It's fine. It's okay. I make the mistake so that when you do it, you won't. So what you're saying is, how much you have to drink this evening? I don't think I've had enough all day today, actually. Not many cups of coffee today. I didn't even have a drink when we dinner. No, I didn't. So we should still hopefully be busy with other trains trundling about. You're only supposed to close the bloody doors. I might do the thing I talked about last week in the Discord this week. We have a conversation with a few people tomorrow about doing some sort of film club. They should get me to do the training things under the heading how not to. We're all encouraged to create training videos, but do you honestly think that would go well for me? I've said this many times. I actually had a chance to work for a games publisher to create videos to promote their routes because they like my style and they like my randomness, but wanted me to then do certain things. Oh, if you can do this, then do a shot of this, then do that, then do a shot of this. And they were going to pay me enough that I could have pretty much stopped working and have done that full time. And I declined because I couldn't do the whole, editing thing. Yeah, there are people that will spend like hours editing videos and stuff, and if the thumbnail isn't working, they'll change the thumbnail. What? Oh God, Tiger! If I would have, when I started doing OMSI, and this isn't me bigging myself up, if I would have gone at that properly, because I was one of the only a couple of people at the time doing OMSI content in English, and when I was doing Fernbus, if I would have carried on, I think if I'd have done it the right way, or maybe like say streamed on YouTube instead of Twitch, and done editing of the videos, promoted them on Twitter and whatever, I think I could have grown the channel to be a lot bigger than it is. But I've always said I never wanted that. I would have hated to have ended up like the fairy tale one, where you end up ignoring the people that got you where you are and being big-headed about it. I still feel genuinely humbled when people like resubscribe and subscribe, and those people that donate, and please don't, I'm like, why? It's just me sat here doing this, talking crap. Why? And why I've said the meetups have never been about me. And if I thought people were going to meetups to meet me, I wouldn't go. It's about meeting each other. It's not about meeting me. You like the channel being smaller? Yeah, and I seriously, I love the fact that I can engage with people in the Discord. Yeah, I wish the Discord was a bit busier. And I like the fact that we can have a chat. And it is it doesn't matter what's on in the background. It's just us sitting here having a chat. And I felt bad, the last couple of years when I was out, not saying having a life, but out doing things, I hated cancelling streams. I didn't like it. My week off I've got coming up, I'm planning going out and doing some stuff, but making sure I'm back for the streams. And Christmas, I will be here, because I don't want to miss the streams. I really enjoy them, and I felt bad last night, really bad, about cancelling a stream, but it wouldn't have been enjoyable for either of us. And it's great that people like Tiger and Sim, and like Michael joining in with Roblox and stuff, that people then make the transition to going from chatting to wanting to join in, and starting out with things like the bingo, which is an easy one, and then going, hang on a minute, what, can I join in with balls, or can I join in with this? Okay. And the meetup coming up, I'm seriously really looking forward to that in 2 weeks' time. It's almost a shame it's at the end of my week off. But I should be nice and relaxed and ready for it, I think. And then, I've said this before, depending on how that meetup goes, which happened last time with York, a couple of people came to there, and the London one where we did a transport museum, a few people came to that as their first meetup. Some people vanished, we never heard from them again. Others then were like, okay, what are we doing next? Okay, I like this, going out and doing things, what's next? And we were doing something like once a month then, which is what we did 5 or 6 years ago. Once a month we aimed to do something. Amy Lou, that is an awesome thing, and this is the first job I've ever had where I can't be me. There's the odd comment like I did this week, but people don't know the real me. Thankfully no one at work watches the streams, and no one at work's part of the community. It's great that those people that have become part of this place feel as though they can be themselves. I don't think anybody has ever put anything like in the community or revealed anything that's made us all go, whoa, hang on a minute. There's things that I can say but I won't say on the stream, that will probably put a lot of people at ease. And it is one of those things with the meetups, and even when we chat like before and after the streams, mainly after, which again we used to do years ago. I have said, I used to be here at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, and the stream would have finished at like 10, and we'd just be sat here listening to music, and just chatting. And it was brilliant because you were just sat with your headphones on chatting to your mates. We don't do that anymore. It's like quarter of an hour in voice after the stream if we're lucky, and then everyone's gone. Tube train. Oh yeah, Trent, the horny one. He'd go to Amsterdam. We'll get Trent sorted out. Alright, Kensal Green is next. Getting back to the trains thing. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're lurking, and maybe you've been lurking for a while, maybe you're someone new to the community, maybe you're someone old to the community, it starts with hello. I took the mickey out of Matthew's name earlier, as I said, to give him a reason to start talking to us. And it's not about talking to me, it's about talking to us. These people all started out being nervous and sitting watching the stream and going, I don't talk in Twitch, I don't engage. I'm quite happy just to sit here and listen to this pillock rattle on for 2 hours. Well, if you want to get to know an awesome bunch of people, then find another community, because this one, they're all awful. Well, you are stupid, Michael. Oh, trying to explain to people at work this week that the USB-C cable connects their laptop to their to the dock, which obviously Ethernet plugs into, screens plug into, keyboard and stuff plug into, and that also charges the laptop. The confusion. I always thank people for following, because I think it is an acknowledgement. In my way, it's an appreciation, and I generally do appreciate it when people follow. I'm not one of those that just go, oh yeah, 400 people followed today. I do appreciate it when people have taken the thought to go, this guy's an idiot. I need to see what he gets up to. We'll click follow. Thanks very much. And okay, 0.5%. I've just had to do the maths. 0.5% of my followers actually watch the stream. Is that right? That'll be 667. 670 would be 10%. 1% would be 67. Yeah, 0.5% of the people following watch the stream. How do you unfollow? Right, Willesden Junction is next. Making our way to that there, Watford. Again, I had a crap week this week. Mentally. It wasn't one thing. It certainly wasn't things that have happened recently and people that have left. I'm beyond that now. It was just I don't know. It was more than one thing. And there were some very kind words from a few people in this community. Trent was trying to get me to retire. It wasn't, but that's the way it came across. It was because I was going, look, maybe it's time for me to just, stop doing this. Maybe I am done. And he was going, well, why don't you go back to streaming Thursday, Friday, Saturday like you used to? Take some time out. And I was going, well, maybe 10 years is enough. Yeah, maybe 10 years is enough. He wasn't doing it to get me to stop. He was doing it to get me to go take some time out and, not have the pressure of doing this. But yeah, there were some kind words. The bit that helped today, Richard texted me and offered to come up here and chat to me. So I thought, well, if that's not a reason to try and cheer myself up, because if I don't, then he'll come up here, and no one wants that. Alright, we're now at Willesden Junction. I think Trent's too busy trucking anyway to be able to comment. I should imagine the roads of Mexico are calling. Right. You're not in a chatting mood. Well, again, we all get that, Trent. As I said, I thought you were trucking. It's just a good thing I didn't do Uno tonight then, wouldn't it? Michael couldn't be asked. Nico was at work. Trent wasn't feeling very chatty. See? It's a good thing. I didn't do it. Harlesden. We'll see. I'll check in tomorrow lunchtime to see if anyone's actually in the mood to do trucking tomorrow night. We're going to buy Train Sim World 6. I will be streaming Train Sim World 6 before it releases. So if you want to see Train Sim World 6, hit that follow button and I'll be bringing content to you both here and on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. But then I pre-purchase it. I don't need to. I will be getting it before release. We're now arriving at Halsden. I special, I Liz. I'm an ambassador. I'm a whatever it is in Farm Sim as well. That didn't do me any good. Yes, I will be getting it before it releases, and I will be able to stream it and show you the content before it releases. As we're talking about it, there we go. So yeah, if you do want to buy Train Sim World 6, official release date is the 30th. If you get the deluxe version or the special edition, you get it 5 days early. It is coming with the Riviera line, Leipzig, Dresden, and the Morristown line. There are train forts coming, random events coming, passenger and platform announcements coming, and I really must find out what those quality of life improvements are. I am so looking forward to the Riviera. I'm actually looking forward to all 3 of those routes, which is the first train sim that's actually happened. Last year, the American one was just awful. The German one was just a bit boring. And this was just amazing. And this year, the Riviera line, I think, is going to be good. The Morristown line, I think, has got potential to be busy, which I quite like the idea of. And I think the German one, because it's Leipzig, Dresden, I think, and that's more of the commuter end, I think that's going to be busy as well. Train Sim World 6 look very incomplete. Well, yeah. Thing is, Dean, most people like me, I don't mind AWS. I know some of our ex-colleagues, the first thing they would do was get in a train and flick all that lot on because they want the realism. I'm so used to not having it, because I'm chatting to chat, so I want to have less things to focus on rather than having the AWS going off. I may well do on the UK ones. I certainly wouldn't do it on the stupid CIFA thing in Germany. Yeah, I do like the UK one, and acknowledging signals and stuff. I'm looking forward to is it Portugal? Got a Portuguese route coming. And obviously we got the Tadami line. That's coming. And the other bits of the West Coast Mainline. I never run a red light. Again, what sort of incompetence level do you think I have? How about a buzzer if the doors are open? What are you implying? Are you saying that I would try to move off while the doors are still open? Do you really seriously think I'm that stupid? Fine. Can someone bring some really sharp haircutting scissors to Doncaster? He forgot about the reminder appliance the other week. Well, I couldn't get that stupid train working in America. Where was I the other day? Germany. It feels weird doing 2 Train Sim World streams in a week. I used to do a Saturday lunchtime one, didn't I? Remember those days? Saturday lunchtime stream. Wembley Central. You leave my hair alone. Depends on which hair. No. Wembley Central in a mile. I know they may come back over the winter. Saturday lunchtime stream. We seem to be running late. I'm blaming Michael. It's 2 minutes. That's pretty much on time. This does make me want to go to London. What you could do is behind the seatbelt pocket in front of you, you'll find our next of kin card. If you kindly fill out the details of your next of kin on that card, we'll know to contact in the event of your untimely death on this journey. If you also like to fill out any usernames, credit card numbers, PIN numbers, passwords, etc., we'll make use of those as well. For your convenience, we have already ticked the Simpson Stuff life insurance box, and whatever you do, don't read the small print. How do I remember that? What have I forgotten to be able to remember that? Treat suggestion. How about some Lego? Oh, there's an idea. Ooh, there is an idea. There's a Smith's toy shop thing. Or the Lego shop. If anyone's ever been to the Lego store in Battersea Power Station, my God, it's tiny. And the store isn't very big either. I'm really expecting to see, big store, loads of different things. No, tiny. I do want to go to the London somewhere. Is got the UK's biggest Superdry store, in hope that they might actually stock clothes that fit me, because the one here doesn't. So I think I might have to have a trip to London. If you want to go to a Haribo shop, there is one of those in that there London. There's one in Swindon. Oh God, don't come here. We've got one here in the outlet village. Is there not one in York? You don't like Haribo. Ex-comrade used to eat a lot of Haribo, would only eat Star Mix. Everything else tasted flipping awful. Had a chance in Brussels of buying some different Haribo. Nope, just Star Mix. I don't really do sweets. I got some, a bit like Frutella. I got some of those from Home Bargains. Aldi Lidl. And they're actually quite nice. They're like fruity, chewy, sweety thing. I haven't had any crisps all week. I haven't really been in a... Normally after the stream I'll have like some biscuits or a couple of bags of crisps. I haven't done. Maybe this weekend I'll have to make up for it. Treat myself. Oh, Pringles. They're dangerous. You open a tube of Pringles and you shove your hand in the Pringles, and then like 4 minutes later they're all gone. I like the hot and spicy ones. I don't mind me a bag of Doritos and a dip. Although after about 4 times at dipping your thing in the dip, I get bored of it and then just eat the Doritos. It's the same with Jaffa cakes. You open a pack of Jaffa cakes, and I think this is my theory, okay? I think it's a really good marketing ploy by the people that make Jaffa cakes. I think they're made of something that as soon as you open them and the air gets to them, I think they disintegrate. So I think that's what happened. You managed to get one Jaffa cake out. You eat that. You put your hand back down to get another one because, you know, a 2 is fine. And they're all gone. So I think they're made of something that as soon as it gets affected by air, they disintegrate. You don't like... How can you not like Jaffa cakes? Maltesers is the same thing. Always an idea. Don't like orange. They do other flavours now. Yeah, Maltesers. Again, sat on the sofa with someone special, box of Maltesers. 1 minute they're all there, next minute gone. Don't know where they go. I think, again, they're made of something that the minute they get affected by air, they're gone. Your personal best making Jaffa... How can you make a pack of Jaffa cakes last an hour? That's impossible. I might have to go to Home Bargains tomorrow. Because last time I was there, they did jammy Dodgers in the different flavours. Like strawberry ones, which I'm not against. They did banana ones. Odd, but not too disgusting. I can have a cup of tea and dip with jammy Dodgers, and then the whole pack's gone. The guy at work today was talking about gaming and stuff. No, talking about screens. One of the young lads went to 2 screens from having 1 screen and his laptop screen, because now the laptops are smaller. So we got him another screen. And this old guy said, oh, I can't cope with that. I can barely cope with 2 screens. I couldn't cope with 3. I said, I got 5 on my setup at home. He's like, what? I said, I got 5. I said, you're a bit of a gamer then? Because he's new, relatively new. I said, yeah, just a bit. And one of the other guys said, yeah, Steve's famous. And he just laughed. I said, fake? I said, yeah, I do Twitch and YouTube and stuff. And then we had a whole conversation about gaming. And I record my story of playing Call of Duty, because that's the last game he said he played, whilst drinking. And at the beginning of the night, I'd sit there, headset on, chatting to a mate and his brother, and open a box of wine. And by the end of the night, I'd be sat there with a controller on my lap, just getting drunk. So yeah, I did used to play Call of Duty and Minecraft. That's when I first started doing farming as well, was on console. I really like this line. Yeah, I've got on the shelf above me, I've still got all my Xbox 360 games, and I've got all of the Call of Duties, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, whatever it is. I've got so many games for the 360. I have threatened to fire up the 360 one day and just stream some of the old games. Didn't get that many for the Xbox One, because I think that was the phase where you were downloading them then, rather than having the physical disc. But yeah, that's how I started out. Well, I started out on PC. Well, if you call it PC. So Spectrum, Commodore. Then when like Mega Drive, went to Mega Drive. Then was PlayStation. PlayStation, PS2. So I was pretty much Sony until the Xbox. Yeah. Xbox 360. I had the original Xbox, but didn't get on with it. It was only when the 360 came out that then my mate had a 360 and was like, you can join us for games. So I bought the 360 and then did the gaming thing. And then, although I've got a PS5, I never game on it really. I think I've played one. Oh no, that stupid game that comes with the PS5. But then Gran Turismo is the only game I've played on the PS5. I think I hardly played anything on the PS4. So yeah, I do see the benefit of console gaming. Absolutely. And you know, I think when ETS2 comes to console, it'll be huge. Because I like the just picking up a controller, and this is what I used to love when I used to do Call of Duty. You used to have that little headset thing you used to put on your ear. And I just sit there in a chair, headset on, controller in your lap, TV, done. Sound coming through the surround sound. I'd inevitably have a concert on or something in the background as well, and just chatting to your mates for the evening. Obviously you can do that from a PC. Wireless controller, wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. My setup downstairs. TV's on one wall, computer's tucked in a corner, HDMI lead runs all the way around the room. So you can just sit on the sofa, wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, wireless controller, done. And wireless headphones. That's what we used to do on a Sunday night. I'd sit downstairs rather than sit here and chat and farm and whatever. That's when people were sociable in the community, and they're not anymore. They're all miserable now. Right, we have arrived back at Harrow and Wealdstone. In front of us is a tube train. It always amazes me when you see this in London, where you see tube trains coming on the platform and then a normal train. You're like, oh, okay. You forget that they share the same tracks. So this, there you go, tube train comes in down the side of us. Almost hope we get, well, the rest of the overground routes would be good for London, and then more of the undergrounds. Yeah, but do you think that's the case with me, Amy Lou? Now, yeah, I've done a lot in my younger years, but the last 10 years, people pretty much know what I've done. It's only been the last 2 and a bit years, thanks to Ethan, that I've been leaving the house. Other than that, my life is work, come home, stream, watch YouTube, bed. Work, come home, stream, watch YouTube, bed. I don't do anything. So, in theory, I've got nothing to talk about, but I manage it. It's sometimes not talking about what you're doing, it's talking about something. But I get it if you're not in a social situation. Being able to converse with people is tough. We notice it on the streams. And that happened, you know, look back years ago with Harry, with Trent, Dorset, when he used to join us. would get overwhelmed by the chat when we're on it, because you feel as though you can't join in because you got nothing to say. It's not about that. Why do you think I get passionate about music and TV shows and films? I'm crying out for someone to have a conversation with me. I will explode if someone ever sits down and says, "Yeah, I'll watch some West Wing with you. I want to watch it, and we'll have a conversation about it." That'll be it. Life complete. You've got to be able to talk about things you've got a passion for, and you'll find someone out there who will be interested in that thing. It's odd for me sometimes that my passion isn't gaming. And you don't think that hurts me, Amy Lou? And has done? Why do you think I'm now just me? Anyway, that's a little different story. Like, I have to explain, there's people in the community, right? You look at Trent. Sorry, Trent, but this is positive. You look at Trent on a day off, right? I can get up 6 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning. I look at the Discord. Trent's trucking. I wouldn't dream of doing that. The only time I game is when I'm either streaming something or recording something. It would never even... I never even think about just gaming. So this isn't my passion. I love streaming. I adore streaming. I love creating content when I'm in the right mood for it, which the last couple of months, because there's been so much of it, I have been. My passion is TV, films, music. But in order to be able to talk about that and bore you lot with that, I've got to do this. I've tried doing the entertainment stream. That failed. And speaking of friends, Amy Lou, and again, I'm not dissing the people that are my mates in here. I think the closeness that I've had with a couple of people in this community over the last few years has made me realise that yes, you can have friends and you can have really close friends, but even those really close friends aren't really friends all the time. And I've always been someone, and I think the last couple of years have proved that has pretty much latched onto a person. And because my life revolves around that person and my interest is that person, I then almost expect that person to be the same the other way around. And I think that's a jealousy thing, and don't like it when that person then is off doing things with other people. I think that's why I've spent a majority of my life single. Yeah, they didn't fail, Sim. I didn't get from them what I wanted to get from, or what I was hoping to get from them. I enjoyed doing them. The second one was a bit rushed, the TV one. But I was hoping that people would go, "Oh wow, yeah, I want to talk to you about that." Right, Carpenter's Park is next. That's not Carpenters. Pencils and saws and things. Carpenters. As you said earlier, Amy Lou, this community is one of the best things you've done. This community will be there as long as you need it to be there. And I think you've almost proved to yourself, without putting words in your mouth, that you can be yourself here. No one gives a damn. Yes, we'd like you to talk more. Yes, we'd like you to shut your phone up when you're in voice with us. But you're a different person now than you were when you were here a few years ago. And I think get a couple of drinkies inside you in Doncaster, which helps bring that brick wall down, and you get to see the real you, which is the same for a lot of people. This community has been well curated. What? No. This community is a bunch of misfits and dropouts. And as I said earlier about taking the mickey out of that Matthew earlier, the people that find this and stick around because we are what we are. This is an odd place. I don't talk about the game I'm streaming. I talk crap for 2.5 hours. If you stick around because of that, you're one of us. And if you're one of us, you're one of us. Then join in. If you don't stick around, you're not one of us. And people that do find this odd little corner of the internet and have stuck around and do stick around for as much as you need this community, then hopefully you leave it positively and not maybe, as a couple of people have done recently, negatively. No, Amy Lou, I totally get it. Look at my streams 10 years ago, YouTube videos 10 years ago. When I was in an environment where I'm stood in front of customers, I can talk to anybody, and I can. My mum was the same. My dad would go off to get a bag of chips or something, a cup of coffee, and mum would be chatting away to someone sat next to him. Dad like, who's that? I don't know. Mum would just start talking to people. I'm the same. At work, I was the same because I had to talk to people. Look how nervous I was when I first started doing this. Even though the people when I started doing this were the group that encouraged me to do it, and a great bunch of people there were at the beginning, when they left and you've got to start all over again, my confidence levels had to raise. And certainly the last 5 years, I started the job I'm in 4 months before COVID, and then was off for COVID. So didn't really get to know anybody at work. Still don't get to know anybody. There's no one at work I would socialise with. Parents died. Relied on this community then. And so my confidence levels had to improve to a point now where even at work, I'm now a more outgoing person, although not being able to be me, than I was 5 years ago. To a point where, again, if people like what I'm like, fine. If they don't, okay. I'm not here to try and encourage people to follow and like, comment, subscribe. It's just about building your own self-confidence. And I think the more you're around people and the more you can be yourself, the more your confidence levels will rise. And that's to anybody listening, watching. You've got to be able to be comfortable. And I know it sounds like one of those things you see on a bloody poster. You've got to be able to be comfortable with who you are before you can then be comfortable around other people being yourself. I'm a slightly podgy 26-year-old gay guy who has got no friends other than in this online community. I got no contact with family, haven't had for 5 years. I don't know anybody at work. So I've got to be able to not say portray myself, but I've got to be confident enough to engage you lot because I need that engagement. If I was sat here just talking about train sim miserably, blimey, I would have stopped doing this years ago. On the poster, did it say close the doors for departure? No. We've arrived at Bushy, and it does look bushy. Anyway, look, this wasn't going to be a stream where I prattled on about feelings and things. It always seems to be in Train Sim. You knew I was going to talk about not being in a great place mentally this week. It was going to happen. It settles the soul. Sometimes I am guilty, and you may have noticed this once or twice. I do overshare. A little bit. Tiny little bit. Well, again, Tiger, I'm not saying that I miss Ethan, the little dimwit. I do seriously hope he has a fantastic life on trains and doing whatever it is he's doing. You know, he made 2.5 years of my life amazing. But anyway, it's not that I miss that. And for those of you, yes, I haven't got parents. I haven't got siblings. There's no one at work I talk to. And the one thing that I had with Ethan and with Harry before that was that someone to talk to. Not about your problems, but it's, you know, I would speak to Ethan every day. And even when I'm at work, people would be trying to ring me and message me when I'm on the phone to him. And he knew the people I worked with. He knew the pressures I was under. And he used to call me on my way home from work. And I'd rant about my day. And that gets it off your chest. And then he'd rant about problems at college or his mum or whatever. Because he couldn't talk to his mum. So I was that person to him. And the same with Harry. And that's what I miss. That's what I haven't got. And I think those of you that have still got parents around, that have got friends, that have got siblings, that have got work colleagues that you talk to, I don't think you quite realise sometimes what it's like to have nobody. And that's the bit that's as occasionally over the last couple of months has brought me down. It's when I have that realisation that crap, it is just literally just me now. But this community, on days like I had this week, picks me up. Not in the same way that people do and people have. So that's the bit that's lacking. What's friends? Yeah, but you've got them here, Michael. And again, all people, everyone that I class as a friend is in this community. I've got no one, not a single other person. Well, I've actually got one other person, my first boyfriend, who I've known, God, how many years is that now? A lot of years. Who, you know, I don't speak to him. Last time I heard from him was on my birthday. I got sent a happy birthday. And the response was, have you not retired yet? And I probably won't message him until his birthday on Halloween. And then that'll be it then till Christmas Day. I'll get a message going, Happy Christmas. But I know damn well, if I messaged him and said, I'm not in a great place, can we talk? When Dad died, I messaged him the day my dad died. And the first response was, do you want me to come down? I'm here if you need me. And I've said this before, there are people in this community that I know are the same. My ex isn't Dracula. Yeah, my ex-mate is like that. You know, I saw him first time in a year. Back in the last year, I went up there, we met up for a meal, and we just carried on talking. as though it'd been a week and not a year. And he's the one I used to game with on a Saturday night. Him and his brother. And that's, you know, when Harry popped in and said hello on a stream, what, a few months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. It was as though it had only been a few days since he'd been here. One of us, see. Amy Lou left for a while because life got in the way. Came back. Don't we notice she'd gone? You get to set fire to things. Always a plus. Right, we've arrived at Watford. We could see to end if the train's in that goes from Watford to... It's over there. The 387? Watford to Wembley, is that the one? That's the difficult bit, Amy Lou, is when someone says... Everyone does it. You know, everyone does that. Oh, I'm here if you need to talk. You know, when I had a chat at work about depression, and I've had time off with it last year. Touch wood, I haven't had any time off with it this year. That my boss went, oh, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. Well, yeah, but people say that. But you've got to be able to know that the person that you're going to be talking to understands you. And understands what's going on with you. If someone doesn't know, I know the Samaritans are there, then, you know, that's an unbiased way of being able to have a chat. And when I was contemplating taking my life 7 years ago now, I rang the Samaritans because I didn't know what else to do. And I knew I needed help. I knew I needed to talk to someone. I couldn't talk to family. I couldn't talk to anybody here. And rang them. And they managed to convince me that there is a tomorrow. Right. Have you had enough of me now? Can I go? No. Yes, go. Hang on, we got a no and a yes, go. Thanks, Sim. Stay here all night. That's what he said. Yeah, so Tiger and Michael want me to stay. Sim and Nigel want me to go. How charming. Well. Okay. Let's do a bit of... Let's go. Let's do a tube action. Do what you like. Do you need to talk to me, Trent? You can message me, you know. Please don't go. Right, I've got to shove my thing in the thing, which is down there somewhere. Okay. Right. Shove what where now? Uh-huh. I thought Trent was the only horny one here. Where are we going? Elephants and the castles. Oh, that was easy. Elephant and castle. Thank you for the raid, Chris, with yourself. You're last seen playing Train Sim World 5. Soon to be Train Sim World 6. Right, stop at Harrow and Willesden then. Is the doors closed? Yes. What do you take me for? Is the signal... Don't you bloody start! I do really need to go into London again and go on the tube. I do like the tube. The junction set. I haven't got to do that, thankfully. Look. Me and you are going to fall out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if I leave the doors open, yes. Chris, thanks very much for the follow. See, it's weird, isn't it? The overground train and the underground train sharing the same, like, line. It's like, what? Can you watch, pervert? And we got a 350 coming through. This is such a good line. I'm hoping that that one, it's not going to be as busy, but I think it's going to be interesting. The Plymouth to Exeter bit, I think, could be busy. That one, I think, will be busy. I'm really looking forward to that one. It's not about the size of your tube train. Right, Kenton is next. I'm always amazed when I go on the tube at how quick they leave the stations. No, Mike, I don't think so somehow. It's like they seem really low down compared to the normal trains as well. Well, I think that's what our ex-comrades ended up doing. Well, not GWR, but one of them. Never say never, Amy Lou. That's Council Wembley show due to tube strikes. Yeah, no one could get there. You know my opinion on striking. I think it's not the answer, personally. To me, it's like a kid chucking their toys out the pram and stomping their feet, going, "If you don't do what I want, I'm gonna cry." The millions of pounds it's cost the economy because people can't get to work or get to where they need to get to, or go and visit friends, family, people in hospital. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not in contact with any of my family in Birmingham, so I don't really care. You're only a little bit late as well. A little bit late. 30 seconds. Not bad after 2 stops, is it? I haven't really done many of the end of line. Last time I went to London, I parked at Rickmansworth. That's quite a nice travel in. So at the weekend as well, it's like £6 parking all day. And just use your Oyster card. And just into London. It's just so simple. It is a cheap day out to get around London and do all the sights. I tend to use Westfield. End of the A40, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah. I just think from here. I used to park on the Shepperton line and then get the overground in. But then it's like an hour into Waterloo and like an hour and 20-minute drive. I did look at Reading as being an option. To drive to Reading, jump on the Elizabeth line. You've still got to pay. It's actually quite cheap to get a train from here to Acton Central, which will take you via Reading and in on Elizabeth line, and then you can use your Oyster. Indeed, Amy Lou. If it was a week after, I would have come and seen you. So what I like about Brussels as well, which I'm determined to get some people to bloody come with me, and just to show the greatness is hopping on and off the trams in Brussels. It's just so easy. Right, North Wembley. See, we need more underground lines. There's so many routes that we want in Train Sim World. It's big enough. Well, thanks very much. There's my webcam on. Again, for those that survive the Doncaster weekend, as I said earlier, people will either vanish after that and we'll never hear from them again, or people will be like, okay, right, great, when's the next one? And when we were doing these years ago, like 6-7 years ago, literally I would come home from the weekend away and would be posting in the Discord, right, here's the next one then, 4 weeks time, we're going to go here, we're going to do this, this is the hotel or whatever, or this is the where we're going to meet, and it'd be done, booked. You literally, hadn't even unpacked because you were off such a buzz from the weekend away that you wanted the next one, which is what we had, over the last couple of years after York. Last year, the amount of stuff that we did as a group last year, not just the stuff I did just with 2 of us, but the stuff we did as like 3 of us and 4 of us and 5 of us, the places we went. We did Isle of Wight for a day trip earlier this year, and I still look at the photos of that day out on my phone, That was a brilliant day in March. Weather was fantastic. We did France, that trip to Cherbourg, last October, whenever that was. Weekend away in Port, split the cost of the caravan, so it was like 50 quid each, whatever it was, for a weekend away. And then we went across to went across to Cherbourg. It's a cheap weekend away. So I need to get out of the spending weekends in the house again, which I've done pretty much for the last 3 months. Can you come to Swindon? No. Well, you can. Just let me know when. I won't be here. I want to do Newcastle. You know, part of me wishes that the trip to Doncaster was longer. With hindsight, because originally I booked to go to Brussels on the Monday, come back on the Wednesday, but then refunded the tickets because it was going to be 2 of us going, and then one sorted off. I wish now I would have gone, you know what, I'm going to book 3 or 4 nights in Doncaster, use that as a base, and I could have gone up to Newcastle. See, that's why this line's really good. Yeah, Dean, that's what the Doncaster weekend's going to do. It's forcing me to get out of the house. And hopefully I'll come back from that absolutely buzzing and be like, right then, come on, who's up for it? When are we doing that again? I got a long weekend that I'm going to book off in October, and a long weekend in November, and 2 weeks off for Christmas. Yes, as much as I'd like to just sit here and do nothing, it would be awesome to go out and go, right, okay, come on then, who's coming with me? Because as I said earlier, I've got no one else. It's you lot. Newcastle away, aye? McVitie's. Well, you know, I've almost penciled in Brussels for my birthday weekend to go on the Friday, which is the 6th. So, yeah, 6th of February. And then come back on my birthday, which is the 9th. So travel over on the Eurostar on the Friday. Saturday, Wuppertal, do the suspended railway. Sunday then around Brussels, because we planned a whole route around Brussels and we didn't really see everything when we were there, and I've been there twice. Even going to that train, I'm not a train weirdo, but that train station in Antwerp was amazing. I'd go back just for that, and that was a double-decker trains. That was really cool. So that's a day out. And then there's the tram route, the 2.5-hour tram route, the longest tram route in the world, which runs along the coast down at Zeebrugge. We went down there, but then didn't have the time to do it all. So you could almost spend more than 2 days over there. Yeah, that was awesome. I had a video on my phone of that, but then someone was talking in it, so I deleted that. But I have still got the pictures from that. So yeah, so going, right, yes, there's 4 of us interested in doing that. It's booked, done, sorted. Something to look forward to. Christmas. Yeah, I'll be here Christmas Day. but it'd be nice to do something. Right, Harlesden's next. See, why is it I find this bit of the Bakerloo line more interesting than the Bakerloo line? I find the underground bit not that exciting because you're just underground. I may have to do it again. I will be doing the Holiday Express as well in December because that's become a yearly tradition. Yeah, well, not on about a weekend away, a day out. You know, so last year, I think 2 days before Christmas, we were in London for the day. 2 years ago, it's Christmas Eve, we were in London for the day. That was a brilliant atmosphere. I got home here, I think, at about sort of 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Christmas Eve night. Trains versus zombies. Wouldn't mind doing something scary for Halloween this year. Maybe I should have carried on the Harry Potter game. Maybe we do some more of the zombies thing. I enjoyed that. Trying to get all of us through to the next safe point. There's a fourth one of those out now, isn't there? Borderlands? Borderlands? What was the one we did? Well, the Borderlands 4 is coming out. What was the one we did? Left 4 Dead. Again, you used to play that on the console. I'll have to take some pickies of some of my console games. Literally, there's 3 piles of them on the shelf above me. About 20 games high, each pile. And the cupboard behind me is old PC games and PS1 games and PS2 games. Maybe that's what I need to do in my spare room. Put some shelves up and then get all these things. There's a shelf behind me above the door to this room that's just full of CDs and games and things. I don't think anything's come off that shelf in the last 10 years. How about a retro stream? I'd like to fire up one of the old consoles. I do have an urge to play Lemmings, the original Lemmings, which I think was out on original PlayStation, I want to say. Mum used to play that. She used to have a little TV, which I've still got. It's actually in my spare room, down by the side of her. And she used to sit and play Lemmings. I've never seen the first Spinal Tap. So I think I'd have to watch that first. I do want to go and see Downton. Well, Colin promised take me on a date and go to the cinema to see Downton. Unlocked door. So this is the bit where the overground line comes in at Willie's Den Junction. So the overground comes in up there. That's going to be the one that will carry on down to Richmond. So a lot of these London routes are linked in some way. I just was hoping with Train Sim World 6 that it would have loaded them all in at once. It'd have been nice to have got off here, gone up there, got on the overground and then gone off to Stratford without going into a menu or without doing the route hop thing. Maybe for 7. Alright, Kensal Green. I think there's only a couple of stops to go, and then you can get rid of me. I don't think I've had a drink yet. I think the last drink I had was a cup of coffee at about 3 o'clock. Staying till midnight. Oh, it's a shame that track's only loading in slightly ahead of me. Well, this would look really good. Are we getting rid of you or you of us? Well, I didn't want to say anything. It's you, Amy Lou. It's not me, it's you. Well, you know, you're newish. I didn't want to, you know, hurt your feelings or anything. Loopy Loo, yeah. Unless someone has already, I will post the trailer to that Australian show after the stream. I need to watch some more of that. Someone posted a thing about the newsreader. I've got that on my list in case I spend tomorrow afternoon just vegging on the sofa. Was it The Block? No, that's the Australian renovation show I watch. I love The Block. This series is really good as well. Episodes, 50 minutes each. Yeah, I'll probably check one of those out tomorrow. And I've got Shetland to finish. It's nice to have a couple of shows where I can just go, right, I'll either binge it, or on times when I have got not a lot to watch, then I know I can just catch up on a couple of things. Although we've got a week and a bit's time. Slow Horses. See, that's something I'd like to get people into, see. That's almost a Discord watch-along sort of thing. I think there may have to be a conversation in Doncaster. Sunday night watch-along for an hour or something. I don't know why I gave up on Murders in the Building. I watched the first season and loved it, and then for whatever reason I didn't start watching the second season. We finished the book 2 today. Slow Horses. I'm looking forward to that. I'd like to have the time to go back and watch them all before the new series. That ain't going to happen. That's one of those shows that I think everyone that's watched it has loved it. But not everyone's got Apple TV. It's the same with what's the bloody one? Heartstopper. Because that last season of Heartstopper, my God, that got deep. I used to read a lot of books. I read all the Harry Potter books before I watched the films. I remember going on the ferry to Spain, and pretty much it's on a winter crossing, I think, so it's a bit rough. And I pretty much just laid on the bed in the cabin and was just so chilled, just reading Harry Potter. You know, one of my weeks down in the New Forest as well. I think went out for a walk in the morning, came back, and then just led on the sofa, and with a beer, and then a book. Don't really read a lot of books now. Last book I read was on the Kindle app. Michael Palin, Pole to Pole. Right, we have arrived at Queen's Park, which is the end of the line for this.
Security personnel tour this station 24 hours a day.
But that carries on, because that's as far as you can go on West Coast Mainline South. Oh, your light's red. You're not going anywhere, are you? Oh, green. Go. Well, you're twiddling with your knob in there. Oh, there we go. And we still see the mainline trains running. This route is so good. I don't think we can go up and actually see the main line. There's the route hop. Yes, we can. There you go. So the main line comes through here. So these are disused platforms. This is where the West Coast Main Line comes through. And then you've got the overgrounds come in over here. And another underground coming in. Yeah. There we go. And you can route hop to other London lines from here as well. Done. So next week will be on Tuesday. So next week, a few days time, isn't it? Tuesday will be my last ever stream in Train Sim World 5. I was going to end with this route, but because I said I'd do New York Trenton, that's what we're going to do. End with New York Trenton. That'll be next Tuesday. The Tuesday after then, which I don't think I'll be able to bring you Train Sim World 6, because that'll be the Wednesday. I'm going to do the Riviera line in Train Sim Classic. And then the following day we'll compare that to Train Sim World 6. So 2 streams back to back, same line, different version of the game. So looking forward to that. Well, no, it's always exciting when you finish one game. It is a shame, as I say, with this, and same with Farm Sim, that, you know, I'll install Train Sim World 6, all my routes will transfer over, and then I'll uninstall Train Sim World 5 and never play it again. So I'll never hear this menu music again. And next week there'll be Train Sim World 7. Hi and goodbye. So yes, there we go. So 2 weeks time it'll be Train Sim World 6. Well, less than that actually. Tomorrow night though, back with some trucking and tunes. Carrying on in the UK in ETS2 in Plymouth. We're going to work our way up and down the UK so we end up in London, because that's where we're going to start our capital city adventure. So that's tomorrow night. Sunday lunchtime back on the farm in Farm Sim, the penultimate stream on that farm, which means we better put our finger out and find a new one. Tuesday, the final stream in Train Sim World 5. Wednesday next week, no idea. The same with the rest of next week. I'll look at some options this week. I think there's one thing that we've proved this week, rightly or wrongly, is that multiplayer stuff to organize is quite tough. So I'm not saying I'm not going to do any multiplayer stuff, but trying to get people to join in with the multiplayer stuff can be difficult. So maybe we'll rethink things for after Doncaster. But we will see if we can get some multiplayer in during the week, next week. Time will tell. So there we go. Thanks to you lot then for keeping me company and listening to me rant and explain my week, which has actually helped me, as I normally do in trains. It's just too easy in here. I just relax and then blurt stuff out. So thanks to you lot for keeping me company and encouraging me to stay on a little bit longer. In an hour's time, I'll probably be in bed. Thanks to... Oh, I've got to read out that... No, I haven't. Thanks to Matthew, who probably unfollowed again. Hang on, we'll find out, shall we? Let's run the credits and see if Matthew's still followed. So I don't think he'll appear if he unfollowed. Thanks to Chris. Yeah, he did. Thanks to Chris for following. Trent for doing some moderation. And Chris for raiding. Thank you indeed. There we go. See, prove my point. Matthew wasn't one of us. I'll be back with some idiots tomorrow night to do some trucking and play some tunes. Hits from the UK tomorrow night. Until then, if you have been, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of this awesome community. Catch you tomorrow.
Be do, be do, be do, be do, be